Random thoughts here, and today we are going to talk about top 10 African Semitic languages based on the number of speakers. Now, Africa has perhaps the largest or one of the largest number of Semitic languages, of course, besides Middle East and we can say Asia. There are so many languages in Africa that are of Semitic kind. And sometimes that's a fact that many people don't think about or don't know about. And Africa has Semitic speakers that number close maybe to 600, 700 million. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Now, there are many Semitic languages that have become extinct that was spoken in Africa. And some of those include a language that used to be called Mesmes and another one called Gafat. These are languages that were spoken mostly in Ethiopia. So let's look at the top 10 African Semitic languages. And I'm going to start from number 10, and then I go all the way to number 1. Of course, number 10 has the least number of speakers, and number 1 has the most number of speakers. Now, at number 10 is Giz or Gez. This is a language that exists in Ethiopia. This language does not have a group of people who speak it. It's a language that is used in religious ceremonies in Ethiopia and Eritrea by, of course, the Ethiopian Christian Orthodox Church and the Eritrean Orthodox Church. And it's a language that has been part of the church's tradition for a very long time. Could be thousands of years, maybe at least 1,000 years, we can say. At number 9 is a language called the Dahalik. The Dahalik language is spoken in Eritrea and is spoken in the Dahlak Archipelago of Eritrea. This language is not spoken by many people. It's spoken by about 3,000 people. So it's a very small language based on the number of speakers. At number 8 is a language called Zayse or Zayse, and this language is spoken mostly in Ethiopia, and this language is spoken by about 35,000 people. It's also relatively a small language. It is spoken by a group of people who live close to Lake Zway in Ethiopia. At number 7 is Harari. Now, Harari is a language that is spoken also in Ethiopia, and it has close to 35,000 speakers. At number 6 is Argobba. Now, Argobba is also spoken in Ethiopia, and it has close to 45,000 speakers. At number 5 is Gurage. Now, Gurage is mostly considered to be a group of smaller dialects that are mutually intelligible. And this group of, we can call them group of languages, has over 300,000 speakers put together. And some of the dialects in that group, and sometimes these dialects are considered to be languages by themselves, include Silte and Wolane. The Gurage dialect or language is spoken in Ethiopia also. At number 4 is Tigray. Tigray is spoken mostly in Eritrea and Sudan, and this language has close to 1 million speakers. At number 3 is Tigrinya. Now, Tigrinya is mostly spoken in Eritrea and Ethiopia, northern Ethiopia to be specific. And this language is spoken by close to 10 million speakers. At number 2 is Amharic. Now, Amharic is the official language, of course, of Ethiopia. And this language, of course, has its native speakers, so people speak it as their first language. And then it has people speak it as a second language, especially. Most citizens of Ethiopia speak this language because it is an official language. It's a language that the government mostly uses to do business. And it has a total of 65 million or about 65 million speakers. And of these, about 34 speak it as their mother tongue. And then around 31 million speak it as a second language. And Amharic happens to be the second most spoken Semitic language in the world. So it's not just second in Africa, but it's also second in the world. And it is interesting, it doesn't have many people who speak it outside Africa. Almost all people who speak it are in Africa, of course, except for Ethiopians who've migrated to other parts of the world. Now, at number 1 is African Arabic. And this is, of course, Arabic that is spoken mostly in northern part of Africa and to the west of Africa. And I have to point out that this African Arabic has many dialects. Almost every country that has the language as an official language, or at least a language that is used, has its own dialect. That means Egypt has a dialect, Libya has a dialect, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Mauritania, and even some of the countries in the Sahel region. All of them have a dialect. And of course, Sudan as well has its own, not even one, but several dialects of the Arabic language. The Arabic language in Africa is called the Maghrebic Arabic, Maghreb meaning the West, because, of course, the language originated from the East, so they call the West Maghreb. And this language has close to 500 million speakers in Africa. And of course, Arabic is the most spoken Semitic language in the world. So, yeah, those are the top 10 Semitic African languages. Those are my random thoughts.